you ready to make technology work for you? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast where we break down the latest tech trends and show you how to boost your productivity at home and in your business. So, subscribe to Act on Tech today and visit alexcustomtech.com to see how we can take your business to the next level. That's Act on Tech, your guide to smarter tech for a smarter business. Alex Custom Tech, IT means integrity and trust.
Hello, hi. Welcome to Act on Tech, where we talk all things technology. I am Alex of Alex Custom Tech, and today's episode is going to be all about the decision every business eventually has to make. Should you run your operation in the cloud or on premises? All right. Now I'm going to give you my opinion. Other tech or MSPs may have a different approach, but this is how I defaultly go with businesses. I mean, some business we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to break it down and talk about which business would, how I decided. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give you my opinion about how the on-premises and the cloud infrastructure, how I view it and how I approach the setting up or designing of a network. So, and here's the twist. We are not going all in on the cloud hype. We're going to take a balanced approach, basically, showing you why on-premise or on-prem is still a viable option, why it still matters, and how the cloud fits best as a tool of off-site storage and access and collaboration, and not your entire infrastructure or your entire network. Okay, that's, to sum it up, that's kind of how I approach it, right? So you probably heard, just move it all to cloud. More time than you can even count. People push the cloud thing, and again, maybe it's a sales thing, or maybe the businesses want you to go all in cloud. It's a money making thing. And again, you have to talk to MSPs. Just don't go with what I'm saying, but let's go down this rabbit hole a little bit. Okay, so but depending on your business, that advice may be too expensive or may be expensive, insecure, or just plain unnecessary. Okay, today I'll help you understand the strength and weaknesses of cloud versus on-prem. And when I say on-prem, I'm talking about on-premises. We're going to define the terms later on. When you should use each, or how to get the best of both worlds, right? Especially if you care about performance, control, and smart collaboration. So let's define the key terms here. On-prem, I kind of give you the definition already, but I'll just go over it again. On-prem is on-premises. Your server, storage, and application are all hosted locally on your own hardware in your building. So let's give you an idea. You have a closet, a utility closet with a couple of server racks, maybe a small one or a full-size one. They got a couple of servers in there. The ISP gives you internet in that closet, and you have a couple of computers there. You purchased this applications on there, or you decide what goes on there. You're keeping inventory of this application and this equipment, and you only do this every 3 to 5 years. You upgrade it. That's on-premises infrastructure. And you have either an on-site guy that does IT work that does that, that maintain that for you, or you have an MSP that comes in and maintain that for you. That's on-premises, right? And then you have cloud, which is hosted on a third-party infrastructure like Google, Microsoft, or Amazon, and accessed via the internet. So on-premises, you lose internet but you still can access those applications to some degree. You just can't do any emails or anything like that. And they could have workarounds when you lose internet. You can have like multiple internet or multiple MSPs coming into the server rack, and then it'll have it's called a failover application redundancy, and if one internet goes on, you pick up the other one. So, but with cloud, you don't have internet, you have no access to any application. You have to wait till that comes back on. Whether the internet goes down in to your facility, or if the third party who's hosting the application, their internet goes down. There you go. So that's what cloud is. Hybrid setup, where I lean towards, is a mix of both, often most realistically and cost-effective choice for small businesses. So hybrid is where you use both. Okay, you have your local storage, your local application, everything running locally, and then you have a cloud service also that works in conjunction with your local stuff. So you send information back and forth. Let me give you kind of an example. You can have backups of all your individual computers going to the cloud, rack up the price ridiculously, because each computer is sending backup data, is backing up themselves to a cloud server somewhere, Amazon, Microsoft, wherever they're backing up, right? How about if you have all the computers in your network on your local LAN backs up to the server in the closet that takes all the computers and separated whatever, and then that server gets backed up to the cloud, so you're backing up only one unit, right? And that's kind of how I always set up the cloud hybrid, right? It's one aspect of how I set up a cloud hybrid, right? So like I said, a mix of both, often most realistic and cost effective. So why on-premises still has strong case, or still has a strong case? Why do I lean towards on-premises? Why am I pro on-prem? Right? I'll tell you why. Performance. First thing, local storage often run faster than cloud-based systems, especially for large files and custom application. It's running locally. You're not pulling it down from the internet where it's going to all these different routers. It's coming right from your closet to anything in the building. So that's a faster time. That's very, very low latency in that, and everything runs pretty good. You maintain it yourself, so performance is definitely high in this thing. Control is a big part of why I like on-prem. I like to control things. All right, you own the hardware, control access and device when updates happen. So you decide what get updates when, so you can actually check the updates, make sure that the updates is not crashing thing before you actually use it. You can have like a sandbox to test things up before you actually deploy. It's just a very controlled environment, right? And you want that. Now, security. No third party dependency, and depending on third party, you can do stuff in-house. With proper security, on-prem can be more realistic, and certain threats can be just eliminated. Okay, because you control access to the servers, you control who goes into the server closet, you can lock it up. All this stuff is really to your advantage, right? And cost over time, right? It's an upfront thing, because cloud is more of a subscription thing. You keep on paying that forever and ever, and the price keep going up, incrementally going up all the time. When you own your hardware, it's upfront costs, and you do it every 3 to 5 years. I would even say 7 years, just to be really like, if you want to really push it. Every 7 years you can update the equipment. Right? Now, when it comes to cloud, here's where it shines best. Remote access. Your team can work from anywhere. Great for field teams, remote staff, and mobile users. So people who are not in the location all the time, you have your salespeople. Those people the cloud help them out a lot. People who are like in the feel like you have people go and like repair people who do repairs a lot, that kind of stuff, that helps. People who are mobile all the time, that's where the cloud come in handy. Instead of them VPNing back into the office, you can have that cloud as a go-between, right? Collaboration tool, Microsoft 365. Google Workspace, which is what I use a lot of. Dropbox, excellent for sharing, editing, and communication in real time. You want to be able to edit something and everybody see it at the same time. It'll take a little time to update. You update it, they see it. They update it, you see it right away. Okay? Scalability. This is where cloud is really shine. It's a click and you upgrade. It's a click and you get a new server. It's a click and you have more, applications running. So that's good. Although to be fair, you can do that locally too, because now we have applications you can spin up in a virtual environment that you run locally. So that's a whole different topic, but some of these cloud stuff you can actually do locally, right? And disaster recovery, this is kind of where I mean on it. Off-site backups and cloud-based recovery means you're not relying on one physical location. So even though I'm on premises and I'm an on-premises guy, I do believe backups are important, and I think that's where cloud shines. You back up your server and your utility closet to the cloud. So in case that goes down, boom, you can pull it down and then you're back to the base. So that's why it's very good to do that. Then you won't get ransomware and that kind of stuff. You won't have to pay any ransom because you already have a contingency plan for that, right? So now here's the downside to cloud. Cloud isn't a set it and forget it kind of a setup, right? And cloud providers follow a shared responsibility model. Now, what that means? That means that they secure the infrastructure. Security of your data is on you, right? So a lot of people get cloud and they just put the apps up there and they just say, okay, it's secured. No, you have to play a part. You have to be proactive on your own data. They secure the infrastructure, but you mean when I say secure the infrastructure, it going down. It does go down, but like very seldomly. Like this thing is not going to go down willy-nilly. Okay, so you're going to have access to this thing 24/7, 365 days of the year. This thing is very reliable. But as far as the corruption of the data, that's on you, right? That's what I mean by shared responsibility. If you don't configure access control, MFA, we'll talk about that a lot, and backups to your data, it's still at risk. So you can't just put data up on the cloud and be like, oh, it's on the cloud, it's good. You have to have a backup to that stuff you have up there. You have to back that up. If you're depending on the cloud to be your infrastructure, you have to back up that infrastructure that's in the cloud, right? They're not backing it up for you. All right. And of course, the dreaded subscription. Keep paying monthly for dozens of tools adds up quickly. You know what I'm saying? Constantly paying for a bunch of tools add up quickly. That's the kind of like the issue. That's also like the downside. That I consider downside of cloud. So what have we covered so far? On-premises pros, which is why I'm pro on-premises. The performance, the control, the security, and the cost over time. Right? These are the things that I consider the benefit of on-premises, right? And where cloud shine is the remote access, the collaborational tools, right, for your team, the scalability, although that kind of is also inside of local stuff to some degrees, and the disaster recovery, right? So that's why I kind of like working with both cloud and on-prem in a kind of a hybrid situation, because I think that's the best way to do it. Now, again, where cloud as a problem, we have a problem with cloud is that, the shared responsibility thing, I'm not really a big fan of that, because you're paying for something, but they don't cover you completely. They don't go say, oh, it's going to be up all the time. Everything else is on you. And you have to really do the things on your part to make sure that stuff is secured. So the smart approach, in my opinion, like I said, and you can tell from how I'm approaching this, is definitely would be a hybrid setup. So why I recommend hybrid setup for business? Run core infrastructure on premises. Run your main things that you need on premises. Local file server, QuickBooks, for example, application, network storage, and then use cloud for collaboration, right? Like your team will use Google Docs, shared calendars, and backups. That's where your cloud will come in, right? And back up your on-premises to the cloud. So the computers, the laptops, the mobile devices will back up to a local storage in your closet. with a bunch of hard drives that can handle your entire devices on your network. And then now that local storage that local storage that's in the closet, that entire thing would back up to the cloud, and then that's where that backup would take place, right? That's kind of how I would do it. And then now use VPN for secure remote access to your local system. So if you have people in the field that need to get to your QuickBooks, and need to get to your calendars or whatever you need to, take any application that's sitting on your network that is a mission critical application that runs on your local network, you will have them access that via the VPN, right? Like coming back into your system, and then they can do it that way, and that's secure. So that's kind of how I would approach it. Again, yes, I am pro hybrid. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. This is how, based on my experience and what I do in the field and how I do networks, this is how I set up. Now, let me, as a caveat, there's some businesses that I wouldn't recommend this, right? You don't need like a bigger organization, 100 and something people using it, or maybe even 80 or 50 people using devices, whatever. I will have like a closet and servers and some kind of stuff. But if you have like a one-man show, like a one-man, like sometimes like accountants, it's like 2 people in there, you can do a lot of stuff on cloud. I wouldn't build servers for them. Only thing I would have they do, they would have like maybe one server in a closet, something small that could back up the 3 computers that they have, and so they would be more, it still kind of would be an hybrid if in a sense, but it would be heavily more cloud-based than local storage, the local infrastructure based. You know what I'm saying? But like a bigger organization with 50, 60 users, all these different devices, a bunch of different printers and stuff like that, I'm doing a hybrid, right? I'm doing a hybrid. That's what we're getting. That's what we're setting up for you. Yes. And then we'll definitely log in and we'll set up the infrastructure, and then we'll monitor everything, and then we'll be there with you every step of the way. That's how I would do it in a bigger, more users environment. So yes, I am pro hybrid. I am pro cloud, local on-premise, and then some cloud usage hybrid to kind of keep the cost down, and the whole shared responsibility thing I'm not a big fan of. So definitely I would do that. But again, not every business in the world is gonna work with, right? And I don't really see a business that I would just do local stuff with. I can't think of any. I'll be honest, I can't. Given how things are right now, to say we'll never use cloud, that would be a lie. It makes no sense, because you still would want a offsite backup mechanism. Now, I have businesses that people didn't want to pay for cloud at all. So what I did was I set up, you have the closet and the servers in the closet, and then at his home, there's another server that the server in the closet at the local business backs up to. People have that kind of setup. But that's still a cloud, right? Because it's somewhere else. It's off-premise somewhere. So that's kind of what I would do in some cases. And that's like a couple of businesses that I have that does that, but not a lot. For the most part, I would definitely have a hybrid setup. And even in my organization, Alex Custom Tech, there's definitely a hybrid setup. The only thing that I have that's just straight local and there's no backups as far as like cloud backups is my radio station. That's the only thing I'm pretty sure when I designed that I never had anything, because again, it's just local storage. I have things backed up locally, like it's called cold storage. Cold storage where I have like I put a hard drive in my radio station NAS box, and I'll just copy everything over, and then that's it. That's kind of what I have. But it's all locally stored. Nothing is stored in the cloud. So if this place burned down, if my studio burned down, then I gotta start back from scratch. But again, my radio station is not something that I used to make money with. It's not. It doesn't lend itself to that kind of redundancy. In my opinion, it's a passion project of mine. So I don't really put too much emphasis. But at least the only thing I can think of that I do not have a hybrid setup for. That's just straight up local networking setup, and that's it. But everything else, I don't have any customers that I don't have some kind of a hybrid thing. The only thing I will have, like I said, is a couple of businesses that I have set up that the guy pretty much backs up the entire business to his house. Okay, that's it. But so he has off-premise. As long as you have the off-premises setup, he's fine. And trust me, these people, not because it's in the house, it's locked up like in a fireproof case. It's really elaborate. So yeah, we have that out there. So I do lean towards hybrid. I do lean towards that kind of a setup. And if you guys are talking to your MSPs and you want to talk to them about this, is something you probably should talk to them about. Hybrid setup. Again, some business, if you don't have that much users, you can just go entirely on the cloud and that's fine. Right? You don't have that much users. You're not paying for a whole bunch of different devices, storing and backing up stuff. So you can probably make that cost effective and then what you can scale up. And when you get to a certain amount of point when your business grow, then you start thinking about building out an infrastructure in your business on premises to handle the volume. So that's what I'm saying. The takeaway from this, maybe it's not that long of a podcast, but anyway, takeaway from this is that don't move to the cloud just because everybody else is, right? Know what you need. Talk to your MSP, get the feedback, talk to multiple MSPs, right? And to be fair, let's just be fair. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I didn't want to say this, but let me say this. Some MSPs get a kickback from these cloud providers when they sell you the cloud stuff. So sometimes they'll say you need a cloud, but it's not because you really do need it. It's just because they get a commission. Salespeople, that's how sales is, You would want to believe that people are looking out for your best interest, but that's not what happens. 9 times out of 10. So take this podcast and say, okay, do your evaluation yourself, see if you really need it or not, before you definitely make a decision. All right, honestly, that's the best thing in my opinion. All right, so takeaway, like I said, know if you know what you need, right? If your business depends on speed, uptime, and control, go on premises, right? Use the cloud where it shines, right? When I talk about the pro thing about the clouds, use that with the collaboration and offsite access, your mobile team, your people who are in the field all the time, and for backups. That is to me, the number one reason why you should be using cloud is backups. Right? Talk to your IT expert. Like I said, they're not all equal, they're not all the same, but these guys are pretty good. I mean, if you want to call us too, you can call us. We'll design something for you. They'll design something for you that fits you. After talking to you, after doing the evaluation, we can design something for you that works. Right? So that's the episode for today. It's not that long. Normally I want to do like a half an hour, 25-minute show. But that's a takeaway. Like I said, cloud versus prem, to me, the way to go is hybrid. I love in designing networks. I haven't done anything for like a Walmart type infrastructure or anything that crazy, but I can handle 500 or even 1,000 users. I probably could design something for that. But I enjoyed doing it because I like to just have it, design it, deploy it, and see how it holds up under the pressure. It's kind of one of my passions. That's why this is kind of the podcast I would like to do more of, in opposed to the security stuff, which is important, but this is kind of my back cup of tea. So I'm kind of like laying off the security stuff a little bit and talk about these actionable things and these tips and to let you guys be aware of what's out there and what your choices are. So yeah, hybrid is our specialty here, is what I do for the most part for users like say 50 users, 75 users, 100 users. That's what I use to do. Again, smaller things, 1-man, 2-man show up, don't require hybrid. You can just do that stuff all on cloud. That's fine. And you keep the cost low. Okay, so like I always say, stay productive. And again, think about what you need. Think about what you need, and that's the best way to determine, what's the best thing to do and how to go about it. And if again you want to call your MSP or email me, info@AlexCustomTech, and we can go over it. We can talk about it. All right. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a review if you can. You don't really have to, and share episode with someone stuck in the cloud confusion, basically. Need help choosing or building the right hybrid environment? Visit. I'm gonna try to see if I can do some kind of a white paper or blog about this. Okay. Until next time, stay informed, stay in control, and keep acting on tech.
There, Jersey and Eastern PA businesses, ready to take your IT game to the next level? Get excited because Alex Custom Tech is coming your way. We're your go-to for IT support, bringing integrity and trust to every service. From network upgrades to virtualization and even relocating your IT setup, we've got you covered. Stay tuned as we put the finishing touches on our new site. Alex Custom Tech, helping your business thrive with top-notch IT support right in your backyard.
Welcome to Alex Custom Tech, your trusted partner for computer service and repair since 2010. We provide professional consulting services to clients throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania, offering everything from computer repair to network design and installation. Our focus is on building efficient, results-driven professional relationships with our clients. We work with you to create customized solutions that fit your specific needs, whether you're an individual or an organization. Our comprehensive IT consulting services are designed to make your technology work more effectively for you. We provide solutions that meet your business's performance and utilization demands. Because we understand that when your technology doesn't work, neither do you. We specialize in network design and implementation, taking the pain out of network creation, maintenance, and repair. Our team understands that even minimal downtime can impact your productivity and revenue. That's why we offer 24/7 proactive monitoring and maintenance to strategically optimize and protect your infrastructure. For residential and business clients, we provide affordable and reliable computer repair services, available both on-site and at our location. Our commitment to quality is reflected in our satisfied customers' experiences. We service New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Alex Custom Tech is ready to serve your IT needs. Contact us today at 855-668-6315 or email info@alexcustomtech.com to discover how Alex Custom Tech can help optimize your technology solutions.